Good afternoon guys, it's Simon from Pulse Cinemas and I am joined today with Stuart from Immersive Cinema Room. So Stuart, you've joined us on a sofa session. So as you know, the sofa sessions are here for you guys to try. It is a great idea in terms of being able to come in and promote your business through our YouTube channel and give the world the understanding of what it is you do in this wonderful industry. So Stuart, I know you as Just Add Popcorn. When I first started in this industry, 10 years ago, it was Stuart from Just Add Popcorn. So obviously you are still Just Add Popcorn, but Immersive Cinema Rooms is more of a venture that's kind of been born in the last few years, isn't it?
Yeah, it fundamentally was born out of the focus that we wanted to take the company in. So as you say, Just Add Popcorn is still the limited company, but it's almost like the group now. It's the name attached to the accounts. It does have its own website, but you know, going back to the 80s, 90s with the advert of it does what it says on the tin.
Run seal.
Yep. You see a site sign and it says Immersive Cinema Rooms. It's quite easy to know what you do.
Yeah.
So it was sort of born out of we had the van being sign written, we had no work, or didn't have much work off the van from Just Add Popcorn, and so it was like, what are we going to do? So we decided to sign it up as Immersive Cinema Rooms. We got some site signs made up as the same, and that sort of coincided with us doing our biggest ever job in East Sussex, and it sort of just got born from there.
So obviously we follow each other on social media, but Immersive Cinema Rooms, going in that direction, did you notice a change in the way your activity on social media was?
Oh yeah, massively. Big time. Yeah. I mean, it sort of was the whole idea behind it was, as we all know, anybody watching this who has an audiovisual company, Cinema Rooms, something Cinema Rooms is a hard URL, a hard address to get. And it just so happened that we were sitting in a demonstration in Soho at Dolby, and a friend of ours was talking about immersive cinema, and we sort of managed to get hold of the URLs. We managed.
Was you actually in the crowd?
I literally was sitting like the fifth
Shouldn't
row.
you have been listening though?
No, sorry. And I was literally on my phone like doing this, and then it sort of, we got a logo made, and then over the last few years it seems to be the more way that we're pushing the company, because it's something that we fundamentally enjoy doing. Yeah,
I mean, obviously Cinema Rooms being in the name, and you just mentioning that in terms of enjoyment factor, I mean, it seems to be the area of the job that you enjoy the most.
Oh yeah.
You talk about it whenever we've had conversations, obviously that seems to be the bit that you talk about quite a lot. Yeah, I mean,
I'm a film watcher, I'm a massive gamer.
I love your Xbox controller collection.
Oh man, yeah, that's I'm gonna have to build a new wall soon, so if anybody's not seen that on our YouTube channel, I've got like a wall of like limited edition Xbox controllers. So one of those is like the rarest one in the world, I think, because my friends at Rare actually signed it for me.
I remember when you got that one, I think, because the thing that I loved about it was that every time I rang Stuart over this period of time, it was, I've got a new controller.
Yeah. I've literally got, with the Halo Infinite coming out this year, I've got 2 controllers coming, which fills the wall up. So I've now got to find and do something with the wall. God knows what I'm going to do. But
that's awesome.
But man. But no, I've always been a big gamer. I've always loved movies, and I've always loved the cinema rooms in general.
Yeah.
And sit down and watch that. That's escapism. Movies and gaming for me are very similar. They take you out of the real world.
Yeah, they give you an emotional response to something,
Yeah, you can sit down, watch a movie, with your family, and strike up some great conversations. And I think the beauty about our industry is that we can create these rooms in people's houses. So in that unloved room in the basement.
Experience there.
Yeah, we've got several clients who spend a lot of time watching films with their kids and their family at the weekend, because, they're busy all week. So they have a Chinese or whatever on a Saturday night, they go downstairs and watch a film, and these are not massively wealthy people, they're everyday people, hard-working people.
Exactly, yeah.
But they're creating memories with their family by watching that film. And I think if last year has taught us anything, is that you can't take going to the movies for granted.
Yeah, and spending time with your family.
Exactly,
I mean, you could sort of like line up iPads, I suppose, and all sort of sit there and watch a screen. But
goes against the name Immersive, really,
doesn't it? I was going to say.
Yeah, it's like iPad cinema company or something like that.
You just get people at home with like cardboard boxes on their head with like the phone stuck inside it with headphones.
Yeah, all sitting there in VR.
Yeah. So cinema rooms is a subject that obviously I talk about daily, being Pulse Cinemas, but we're definitely noticing this trend. But in terms of the actual orientation of the space, the way that it comes together, the overall kind of, I suppose, aesthetics of the room, are you doing more dedicated with immersive, or are you doing more kind of like multi-function spaces?
Majority of the time dedicated. I would say, we've got 5 projects on the go at the moment. They all seem to be the similar sort of, they're that room, that unloved room. They're that room that's, it's been everything apart from a cinema, and now they're putting a cinema in it. A couple of them we're doing, like the one we're doing at the moment, yes, it has windows, but we're treating those windows. So yeah, we would say they're more sort of dedicated rooms, more rooms that people can shut the door and enjoy, basically.
And enjoy it. So we are seeing as well that a lot of these kind of I suppose it's technologies colliding, isn't it? Or industries colliding, I suppose, in terms of the gaming. So we're seeing a lot of these kind of specs coming through from dealers that are quite open plan areas, I suppose.
Yeah.
They're kind of split up. I think you did a project recently, you were telling me about, like the snooker table at the back, and then the cinema room area and that. And we're seeing that kind of trend. And I think from something that obviously us being passionate about gaming, the simulation world, I think, is accelerating quite a lot in that. So it's not so much dedicated spaces to simulation, but it's very similar to the space that we're in now at Stansted, is that kind of dedicated fun zone, I'm going to call it. So it's the cinema spec with something like a simulator in there. And I'm definitely seeing from your social media that kind of simulation side of things popping up a little bit more as well.
Well, I think you go back to the snooker room we did, that was like, I think it's 14 metre long. You open the door, the first thing you saw was a big snooker table, and then towards the back of the room, there was, the room changed from being hard to soft furnishing, fabric wrap walls, 150-inch aspect, 235 aspect ratio screen with some nice comfy sofas. And as you said, they're dual zone. So, and I think it's something that we're passionate about is, yes, we build cinema rooms, we build immersive cinema rooms, but it's also what else can you do in that room? How can we create these rooms which they're not just a movie room, they are somewhere you can go and, watch the final of Strictly Come Dancing if you want to, watch a film, a couple of...
Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is my little guilty pleasure, so...
Not here. It's Love Island all the way.
Love you, Lisa.
I'm joking, no Love Island. There's my reputation gone. But it's like, I say, going back to gaming, when Gears of War 5, I think it was, came out, 18 months ago, that heavily supported Atmos. And I remember playing that in the demo room down in Robertsbridge, and it was scary. Yeah. I ended up having to open the door to let a bit of light in because it was like you've got things all around you, and I think that's it. It's people are trying to create spaces in their homes so they can have fun in their homes. Yeah. They can watch a movie, they can play snooker, they can play a computer game, and as I say, with simulators and things like that, that's another area which I think's is starting to come through, with the PC gaming, the Xbox gaming, they're so well aligned now. That people are wanting more out of that space because, let's face it, they're investing a lot of money in it.
Definitely.
They want to get as maximum use as possible out of it.
Definitely. I mean, I'm seeing, with obviously, as you know, the new venture with Pulse. So you have Pulse Cinemas, trade company, and then you have your Pulse simulation side of things, which is obviously our simulation offering.
I wonder what that was.
Racing. What, the elephant in the room?
Yeah, I just thought it was something to open your beers on.
It looks like the what's that character, the massive thing in RoboCop that just walks along.
Oh yes.
N209. Yeah. But no, so we're, as you know, venturing into that, and there's a definite difference between a gaming system and a simulation system.
Yeah.
So you've come here today, and I know you've got a passion for it. We speak quite a lot on social media about it. Obviously in private messages, but it really hooks you in, doesn't it? You get so attached to a car or a certain track, and it's that I'll just do another lap, I'll just try and get that second, I'll just try and beat that time. And to do it in a simulation setting, it just, for me, when that thing arrived, it blew my mind in how it all come together. I mean, what was your kind of... You've been on there for quite a while today. I sort of shut the door and
left me alone, and I was still going around BrandsHatch. No, I mean, I've got a good friend of mine who does, does Project Cars, I think it is.
Yes.
And he's just got a basic setup at home. And in the same way as I always do with most things, is I went out and bought a play seat and went out and bought a Logitech steering wheel and sat at the back of the demo room for ages, not doing anything. And then I just recently set it up and started playing with it in the demo room, on a 100-inch screen, and was like, this is amazing. How have I missed this? And then my friend came over, I think it was only last Friday, and we sat there for like 2.5 hours doing like dirt rally on the course you told us about in Spain.
Yeah.
And it was like, I shaved 2 seconds, he shaved 2 seconds, and this went on forever.
Yeah.
And then you hooked me up on Insta saying, mate, you've got to come and have a look at this. It's fully installed now. You're going to absolutely love this. It's going to blow you away. Yeah, you're true to your word, pretty much.
Pretty nuts, isn't it?
And it is so good that it is devoid from that setup that I was telling you about with the play seat and the Logitech steering wheel. If anything, the compliment to it is doing something like Dirt Rally on there. It's so realistic. You just feel like you're in a car. With the DBox, with the weight of the steering, the weight of the pedals, it just feels like you are actually doing rally in a car.
I actually feel like as well, like it actually invokes a bit of fear in you. Sometimes you're coming into a corner and you get like that in your stomach as you
especially
think,
when you know
you've hit that. Am I going to make it?
You've hit that wall, like especially in rally where you just one clip and you've ruined like the last 5 minutes or whatever.
And you'd think from a perspective of when you, for example, have a bit of an off, that the DBox system would go, oh, I better calm down for Stuart. But no, it's like that. Whoa! And it chucks you about.
It just draws you in, and with the screen in your peripheral vision as well, using the 3 monitors, and the DBox. I mean, we did Assessa Corsa when I was doing BrandsHatch, and again, you felt the rumbles, as you went too hard, you felt everything about the car, and actually the one thing you were saying to me on Instagram was, what's great is you feel the gear change, and you really feel that in ACC where, you're hooning down the straight and you're changing and you brake and you really feel it.
Yeah, so you get that inertia in the braking, and your body just flies forward in the seat. It's absolutely amazing.
I think that's it. I think there's nothing worse than the simulator when you're devoid from that simulator. And I think that what's really great about that one is that because of DBox, because of all your senses are moving in it, you're not devoid from driving a car. I suppose it's a little bit like some people say about VR, in respects of people get motion sickness in VR because their mind thinks they're moving, but their body's standing still.
Exactly.
And I think that's the same in respects of you can do a racing simulator which would be great and doesn't have DBox and that, but that is the next level. That really gets you that full immersion.
Definitely. I mean, immersive cinema rooms, all of what you've seen in these videos is available through Stuart. So obviously you follow Stuart on YouTube now. Make sure that you please subscribe to Immersive Cinema Rooms. He's producing some really awesome content. Not just content in terms of kind of look at this wonderful room. You're producing actually really useful content in terms of like, this is how this works. This is how I find this works. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, we use YouTube to show people not just the finished content. I mean, we like to show the finished rooms. We know you look at our Instagram page, our Facebook page, we've got lots of the pictures. You look at YouTube, and we try and do a tour every time we do a cinema, just to show people what it's like in those rooms. But I also think it's important to show a potential client and show people, how we build these rooms. And I think, you walk into a room like this and, we can work out how it's built. Unfortunately, a client doesn't. Some people may argue, well, you're giving away trade secrets.
I was going to say that. Some people are quite precious about their kind of,
But to me, it is about, I think it's strong for our business to show that we're on site building. We do our final videos, we do our time-lapse videos of most jobs. And then we've just started doing a weekly show, Immersive Weekly.
Yeah.
And that purely is born from the fact of we like showing things on site. So we'll go in on a Tuesday and we'll describe what we're doing, what we're going to get up to that week. We're then going on a Wednesday. It might be that we're getting something ready for the carpet to go down. Then when we go back, we're all see the carpet together when it's first down, and it just shows potential customers how these rooms are built, and DIY enthusiasts. I mean,
100%. I find myself on YouTube sometimes. I follow this couple that I think they're Wild. It's called Wild. I can't remember the bloody name of it now. Wild at Heart, or something like that. And they just built a house from nothing.
Yeah.
They've literally bought this bit of land and they've built this house.
Yeah.
And even down to the detail of him showing how he's fitting the light fittings, how they're doing the kitchen work surface, all this kind of stuff. And And clients want to view that because there's a level of excitement to it that they want to see every possible aspect. So it's not that they're buying into you as a company, but they are buying into you as a company, but they're seeing how you do it and they know why you do it.
And it's a lot of money, you know, whether we're building a cinema room for, I don't know, let's say 25,000, or we're building the cinema room for $250,000. To that person, this is their hard-earned money. And actually, if they can sit down there and get an idea of how you build these rooms, I mean, we've actually quite inadvertently, our YouTube channel has become a great way of saying to a client on emails, right, what we're going to do is we're going to do this, you know, in our proposals, and then we link a YouTube video to it. So we're talking about building a screen wall. Hey, I've got a time-lapse footage of me building a screen wall. Yeah. So it is actually helping us sell our services. And as you say, it's an investment for clients. So if they can see you building a room and then show you what it's finished, you know, that's a big tick on the back of the company to say, right, they can do, you know, I'm going to give them my hard-earned money and they're going to be, I'm confident they're going to give me this room.
It's physical, it's evidence. It's physical evidence of showing what you're doing on a daily basis. Yeah. And I think Stuart and I wanted to talk about YouTube because the power of that platform, well, as we all know, the power of social media, we don't need to go into that, we all know that it's useful to have, but having creative content in your business, we noticed, like the sofa session that we did a couple of weeks ago with Ben from Cinema at Home, with the demo room that he did with Pulse, he literally photographed every aspect of delivery and what was happening next, and it was engaging, you know, and he actually won jobs off of the back of that. And I know that we're all busy. Everyone's busy. We're all kind of running around trying to do things. But in the day and age that we're in, where basically we have a mobile phone,
everybody's got one of these in their pocket.
Bang, 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 snap, snap, snap. You don't have to necessarily do it on the day, but I just find the content that you create, the message that you give, helps you to align yourselves with the right clients.
And it helps the industry in a whole. I mean, I think the more people that learn about what we do as an industry, and you know, and it's not just for the mega rich people, but we're creating, you know, fun family spaces. And I think if we can do that by, you know, videoing our work, putting it on, even if we just put it on social media, we don't go to the whole, you know, the whole hog of cropping it and putting it up on YouTube with a track underneath it, nice funky visuals and all that lot. But for us, YouTube is probably one of our main sources of advertising now. It just takes a little time, some, you know, a bit of money investment for cameras and things like that, and a bit of learning at the weekends when you're not on the job. But it's worth its weight in gold. It really is.
100%.
Yeah.
Stuart, my friend, I've been really wanting to get you on this sofa. Obviously not in a dodgy way for a while. And I'm very grateful that you've come down today. I'm very grateful as well for the kind words that you've given towards the simulation system. So I'm very proud of this element of our business offering, and I think working together, any of your clients that are interested in this side of things, you know, my door's always open to have that demonstration side of things.
Just one thing though.
What's that?
Can we stop talking now, because I want to get back on it?
Yeah, that's true. I do. I reckon we're going to be here a bit late. So it's a good job that we've got a kitchen, a shower, and at least a couple of cinema rooms.
I've told the wife, there's your dinner, I'm off. I'll be back sometime on tomorrow night.
Oh, that's brilliant. No, seriously, Stuart, thank you so much for coming down today, my friend.
No worries. Thanks,
guys. Make sure that you're subscribing to our YouTube channel. We are very, very proud of how our subscriptions have gone up, and also the content that we're producing out there is there to help you. It's there to engage, it's there to inspire, it's there to educate, and just give you an overall understanding of what we're doing as a distribution company. So make sure you click that little subscribe button and the bell icon. Ding, George, make sure you put that in there, and we'll see you all again soon. Thanks a lot.
No worries, bud. Cheers.